Today I want to share 6 daily law of assumption exercises to skyrocket your manifestation results. So if you assume the feeling of being somebody or of having something, of experiencing something, and you put yourself in a situation by using the imaginary act, you will become it. Over time, your demeanor changes. Your body language changes, your words change, who you are change, and you become that which you want to be. And one of the exercises, or let's say the most popular exercise that I want to share with you, is the exercise to act as if. And what that means is that if you want to go from a place of poverty, or maybe it's not a place of poverty, but a place of, I have enough to get by, but would be great to have more, to a place of true abundance. You have to act like somebody who is truly abundant. You have to act like somebody who embodies abundance. So what would somebody do who's truly abundant? Somebody who's truly abundant, and I know that from my own experience, from being surrounded nowadays by so many incredibly abundant people, is they act differently, they choose different words, they talk differently, they do things differently than people who are not abundant. And now you might be saying, oh yeah, those stupid rich people, they always behave in this weird way. Well, if you think like that, then you will never achieve the abundance that you truly want. You can only become abundant, you can only become rich and wealthy if you choose to think like somebody who's wealthy, if you choose to act like somebody who's wealthy. And a wealthy person would never look at another wealthy person and say, look at that greedy bastard. I bet he can only afford this car because doing some crooked things. And then this person looks at their own car and says, oh God, no, I have the same car. Oh, am I bad too? Of course, that doesn't happen. Somebody who's truly wealthy and truly abundant looks at others who are wealthy and says, oh, how did they do it? Interesting. Maybe I can learn something from them. Let's do an interview with them. That's how somebody thinks and then also acts who's truly wealthy. And specifically when it comes to creating your millionaire character, the person who you truly want to be, the person who you have to become in order to manifest the abundance that you want to manifest. This is something that we go into great detail about in coaching session number 3 of the Abundance Reality Shift coaching program, where we design your millionaire character and we go in as much detail as we possibly can so that you become that person, that you step into this reality. And you might want to ask yourself, just today, how would you dress if you were a millionaire? How would you walk if you were a millionaire? What words would you choose? What places would you visit? Even if you might not be able to afford a stay in a 5-star hotel, you can still walk in there, soak in the energy. And when it comes to how would you dress if you were a millionaire, that doesn't mean that you have to walk around with 3 Rolexes on your arm and with a big fur coat and go like, I made it. Just like Macklemore from the Thrift Shop music video. You don't have to do that. It could simply be to say, hey, how would I dress if I had no care in the world? If I wouldn't have to go to an office, if I would just be free. That is abundance, that is wealth. And then practice becoming that person every single day. Which leads me to an exercise that you can also do every day, and that's the I remember when exercise, where you step into, for example, your dream house, and you then remember the first time you stepped into your dream house. And of course, I know right now you might be saying, at least if you are analytical German, yeah, but right now I do not have the dream house. How can I remember that? How is that possible? Well, it's possible with your imagination. I know, shock horror, right? You have to imagine something. So remember how you think back to the day that I know hasn't happened in your physical reality yet, but in your imagination it has. And remember, your imagination is the only real reality that creates reality. So by you then going down memory lane in a sense, and you remembering how you stepped into the house that you've always wanted for the first time, you are sending the signal out to the universe that you already have what you want, because otherwise you wouldn't remember it. The same is true for an amount of money that you want to make. Remember how the first time you looked at your bank account statement and you saw $100,000 in savings and you went, woohoo, yes, 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 woo. And then remember it again the next day, then remember it again the next day, and feel yourself into this memory. And soon enough in your physical reality, you will look at your bank account statement and say, oh my God, there's my memory. What the hell? And this is exactly how it should be. And then let's have a look at exercise number 3. Feel yourself into the state of the wish fulfilled while you speak your affirmations. That's also a daily exercise that you can do. I'm a big fan of affirmations, but only if you use them to create emotions. If you only read the words and you say, oh, this sounds so great, then your affirmations won't work. But if you feel yourself into the state of the wish fulfilled while you speak your affirmations, now we enter effective territory. So for example, you have an affirmation, I am rich and wealthy because I have X amount of dollars in my bank account. And if you know me for a long time, then you know that I'm a big fan of describing affirmations that are a little bit longer than what other people recommend with the word because. Because the word because is an anchor for your conscious mind to let the affirmation sink into your subconscious mind. Because when you use the word because, your conscious mind goes, there's a reason for that thought. Okay, I guess it's legit. And that's what you want to achieve. And if you then feel yourself into what would it feel like to have that amount of money in your bank account? Or what would it feel like to be healed, to be healthy when you write down an affirmation, I am whole, I am healthy because I am worthy of health. What would it feel like? The more you feel yourself into it, the easier it will be for you to first create the emotion and to then create this reality. Which leads me to exercise number 4. Isn't it wonderful that I now have? I just love this technique directly from Neville Goddard. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful that I have the money that I wanted? Isn't it wonderful that I have 200,000 in my bank account? Isn't it wonderful that I have 2 million in my bank account? Isn't it wonderful that, and then insert whatever you want to manifest. And isn't it wonderful that you have the opportunity to join a coaching program where I share the exact steps with you and the exact blueprint and all the techniques that have helped me to go from barely getting by to now swimming in abundance. Yep, it is wonderful. And if you click on the first link in the description or you go to affirmationtomanifestation.com/abundance, you can find out more about this coaching program. And each of these coaching sessions is an individual one-on-one coaching session that we will have together. And I also invite you to watch the video testimonials from my amazing clients. And I also invite you to practice the next exercise, which has to do with teleportation. And now you might be saying, oh, are we now entering the sci-fi movie territory? Yes, we are. And what I invite you to do is to teleport yourself into a completely different environment and a completely different reality in your imagination. And if you do that over and over again, you will also teleport yourself into this parallel reality of your desire coming true. And that's exactly what you want to achieve, because you want to first in your imagination expand your horizon and put yourself into this environment and this reality. And the more you feel yourself into it in your imagination, the easier it will be for you to draw this reality to you. And the last exercise that I want to share with you is inspired by nobody else but Jim Carrey. And that's the congratulations exercise. We could also call it the Post Malone, congratulations exercise. But this is an exercise, oh god, that was a terrible joke. Anyway, this is an exercise where you simply imagine somebody congratulating you on your achievement. And this already assumes the wish fulfilled. It assumes that you have what you want. And this is something that Jim Carrey, for example, talked about in an Oprah interview, where he said that he always imagined producers and other actors and directors congratulating him on the amazing work that he did in his movies. And yes, he also imagined making $10 million with a movie and receiving that money. And this is exactly what happened for him with Dumb and Dumber. But at the same time, he also used the congratulations exercise to further go into the imaginary act and into the feeling of the wish fulfilled, where he described directors coming up to him and movie critics and other actors and film producers, and they were simply congratulating him on the amazing work that he did. And doing amazing work as an actor and being congratulated by all kinds of movie producers already assumes abundance. You don't even have to think about a specific amount of money anymore, even though it can definitely help, and it definitely helped Jim Carrey. However, when it comes to you going into the realm of being congratulated for your amazing work, or for example, if you have your own business, clients being really happy, that's something that I often visualize. My clients being really satisfied with the work I do. And this, of course, can then lead to more abundance, because if you are in a reality where your clients are happy with the work you do, then of course you will have more success than if your clients are really unhappy. I mean, should make sense, right? So that's what I wanted to share with you today. And I again want to invite you that if you want to work with me in the Abundance Reality Shift Coaching Program, you can go to affirmation2manifestation.com/abundance or click on the first link in the description. And if you go on this page, then you can also see my happy clients and their video testimonials. And if you want to invest in my audio program, then you might want to go to affirmation2manifestation.com/mastery or click on the second link in the description.